wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. We got our niece Nyla with us today. We got a special guest in the building, Polo G. Welcome.
What's up?
How you feeling, brother?
All good.
New album dropping. Hood Poet.
Back outside.
For sure.
Yeah, we haven't seen you.
In a while.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
It's been a minute. What took so long?
You know, I went through a lot of things, you know, with my music and just personally that kept on derailing me. But, like, you know, I'm actually, like, glad I went through everything because I feel like I wouldn't have got the product that I ended up with. And I feel like it's the best one that I could have had in any year that I would have dropped.
What were you going through? Was it like a writer's block, or you didn't know what sound you wanted, or label?
All the above, you know.
And what about personally? You said personally, was it?
We'll get to the personal.
Okay,
Let's talk about the music first.
All the stuff that
Well,
we're
wait,
working on.
before we get into the new music, I
Goddamn,
like
gossip
him.
girl over here. Get to the personal.
When he said something bothered him, I want to know why. What's taking so long?
I really, at first they told me like, oh, Polo G flipped the Michael Jackson record. And I'm like, not Mike. Like, how dare he? But then I actually really liked the record. Were you not comfortable? Because it was a more like mainstream, poppy type record. I mean, it's still rap, but did you feel like you're going different from like your core music? Or
You saying like with my new album? No, I feel like I was definitely getting back to my core because like my project that I dropped beforehand, I was trying to be a little more mainstream, versatile. But like on this album, that's why I titled it Hood Poet, because I connected back with my roots.
What's a hood poet to you?
It's like a spokesperson for the neighborhood, you know. Person's really speaking on telling everybody's story at once, not just his, you know.
How can you still relate to the hood, Polo? I mean, you living large in L.A. We see you walking down Rodeo Drive. You got a big stack of money. Feel free to pass Uncle Hunted if you want to. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just watching.
Got it, Polo.
I'm watching the money just hanging out your
Don't
pocket. You know what
got
I'm saying?
it. Don't you dare. Got it.
But how can you still relate to the hood?
I mean, it's where I come from. I'm always naturally relate to them. You know, I still got close dealings with like my family, friends, everybody that still come from that. You know, I really come from it for real. So I'm always,
You feel a bit of survivor's remorse?
I feel like I do at times, though, like overdoing for people, feeling like, damn, I know I was in that situation before.
You ever get caught up in the feeling that you have to go back and help?
Yeah, I feel like that's a good thing, though, having that type of obligation or feeling obligated.
what is the acronym for Hood Poet?
It stands for He Overcame Obstacles During Pain or Emotional Trauma.
So have you been exploring that? Like, have you been talking to like a therapist or a counselor just to see what...
I tried a few times.
Okay.
Yeah, I do want to like make it more like a regular thing, but I have like did it a few times before. Yeah,
You gotta find the right person. Once you find the right therapist and y'all lock in, you'll be consistent.
Yeah, that's what I feel like it is.
Cause I saw a couple months ago where you posted, drugs and liquor help me cope with pain, but I need better vices. Have you found any better vices?
Yeah, I really laid back off drinking. I ain't been drinking for a little while. I won't say that long. It's probably been only like a month, but no, I be really like working out a lot. I hoop from time to time. Like I just try to do. I like being by myself. I feel like that's a decent vice if it is one, but like being by myself helped me think clearly.
You ain't got no game.
Charlamagne's 5'5". Charlamagne's 5'5".
Talking about
He can't play basketball.
You nice on the court?
I'm decent. I say I'm decent.
Charlamagne can't touch the net, so don't even.
What I got to do with anything? I'm a 3-point specialist.
You're not even close.
Now, Hall of Fame was a #1 album. Did you set any expectations for yourself when you was working on Hood Poet after having so much success with Hall of Fame?
Definitely, like first, like creating the album and coming off of like my album being so big, the one that the Hall of Fame one. Like at first, that was my main primary goal, but like after all the time how I went past, my biggest thing was just getting the music out and just making sure it was like the best music that I could put together, you know, like, and really just trying to put my soul into it. But definitely early on, that was probably one of my primary focuses, and then it shifted.
I read somewhere too. I don't know if this is true, but you say you're the only rapper in history to have every album go 2 times platinum. Is that a true
I think
stat?
it was like at that time. I don't know. I don't really know what they meant by it, but I did see. What's the Twitter account? It's one of my favorite Twitter accounts. Hip Hop Daily.
Yeah, that be doing the certifications.
Yeah.
Is that true? I wonder if that's true. I just saw it and I was like, man, that's interesting.
Well, they do the certification. They check the numbers and everything on that site.
Yeah.
They what?
I said they check the numbers and everything on that site.
So they said every album you put out is going 2 times platinum.
Yeah.
What does that look like money-wise?
He's all in your pockets.
Yo, why you?
You want me to ask about you, but he all in your
No,
pockets.
because you
how much
always
money
hear
you got in your
about artists
pockets?
saying how they don't make the money off the record sales. So I'm just wondering, like.
Yeah, I mean, I can't really relate to that. I don't know.
You getting money off your record sales.
For sure.
Good answer.
Would you rather go back to the days where it was more independent? Because I realized this time around, the reason I asked is usually the labels are what call, but I was getting calls from people outside, but like, Polo want to come to the Breakfast Club. I'm like, all right, whatever. But it would seem like it was more of an independent way of doing things opposed to actually going through the label. So is that going back to the roots and going back to where it started from? The reason you're doing it that way?
I don't get what you asked me right now.
So usually the label books you or the label calls to get Polo G on the radio or whatever it is. But this time it was more of a personal relationship, which was weird.
Mm-hmm.
So I was curious if that's the route that you want to go more to an independent route where it's going outside of the record label.
I'm always like collaborate with my label on ideas or doing anything media wise, but I think it's definitely a good thing to just create a good like team on the inside to do a lot of the same things that the label would do, just so you ain't so dependent on them.
You feel like the label wasn't doing enough for you?
No, I definitely don't think that. Like they step for me, but like I said, it's really about building your own personal team for sure.
What do labels do nowadays for artists?
I feel like it's like a lot of groundwork that they do, the things that you probably may not see, you know, and just staying on point. And I know I talk to my team, to my label a lot about like what I should do from an analytics standpoint.
I saw a lot of people saying they was wondering why Lil TJ isn't featured on the album.
Man, me and TJ, we just be having to lock in. Brody he be gone like probably 80% of the year. Like you can never really get a hold on. But that's still my boy. We locked in forever.
So when y'all be doing records, y'all be in the studio together, like.
Yeah, most of the time. That's like the only rapper that I be in the studio with. Like most of the time, I just send a track back and forth. Like a lot of feature records that I have, I probably had 2 or 3 songs with Lil Baby before I ever met him in person. So me and TJ, we always lock in. We got that chemistry together.
How'd y'all get so tight?
Right after I signed, they put us in the studio together. He had just signed before me, and like we basically like grew up together in the music industry.
Now, you know, a while ago I gave you a donkey of the day because you was saying that you were one of the only rappers with no security. Now, you got all this jewelry on. And the reason I was so disappointed because I'm like, yo, Polo has always been one of the smart ones.
Yeah.
You walk around all the jewelry, you got money hanging out your pocket. Why was you testing the streets in that way, Polo?
That wasn't like, sometimes I feel like because I ain't always out there, people don't know like when I'm trolling or just playing around sometimes. Like that wasn't no like I'm trying to entice nobody or trying to puff my chest out. I was just really bullshitting. Like I ain't even like, you know, I probably was 4 hours away by the time I posted that. You know, like I ain't no goofy like that. I just be trolling something. And that's something I've been doing since the beginning of my career. It's just like I be forgetting that I'm at a like bigger point in my career where people will take down anything, and you know. So that was definitely a learning like something that I had to learn to just be more mindful of.
With Hip Hop being your comeback project from the break that you took, what is like the takeaway you want people to get from this?
That I really put my all into the project, that I took my time with it. Because this the longest it ever took me to drop a project in my career. Like I was on the cycle of dropping an album every 9 months in the beginning of my career. So like with taking so much time, it had to be the best shit that I could create.
Were you nervous doing this album because you said that you wanted to stop your vices, whether it was drinking or drugs? So without using vices during this or doing that, were you thinking that maybe your mind couldn't put out an album, you couldn't rap without those vices? Was that a fear at all?
Sometimes that's a thing, you know, coming early on into my career. Like I had like pills was my thing a lot, and I made a lot of good songs off drugs. You will start thinking like, oh, that's the only way and then like it's really just a thing of finding yourself. You know, I feel like now at this point in my life, I make my best music sober.
And how did you get off those vices? How did you finally wean off and say, I'm not doing this anymore? Was it a scare? Was it family? Was it management? Or was it yourself?
It's always myself. It's definitely like dealing with the like mental problems that come with it. Like, you know when you drink too much and then it's like you trying to pull yourself out of that depression or that darkness. Like going through that and not wanting to be in that headspace again is what really made me stray away from it.
Do you think you're trying to escape something? Because, you know, when I listen to a record like, you know, Barely Holding On, and you like, you know, death in the air, that shit will leave you with a chilled spine, even though my spirit's down. Like, I'm okay, I feel fine. Shots from that steel 9. Aim from that hillside. I'm from the trenches where they just murder just to kill time. Like, it feels like you're dealing with some real dark stuff on this album. So you feel like you was doing all that just to try to escape?
Yeah, you said, for sure. I feel like it go hand in hand with the rapper lifestyle too. While you may indulge in certain things, but I definitely feel like it's an escape thing sometimes too. Yeah.
Because on Turning Back, you say, I need some therapy. Like, you literally say that.
For sure.
So you're clearly self-aware that there's something going on.
Yeah, for sure.
And even now, even talking to you now, I feel like mentally you might be somewhere else. Like, you got a lot on your mind.
Always though. That's just me.
Does it make these press runs even more difficult? Because you know you got to go out here and promote the album, but then you're dealing with real life issues as well.
No, not really. Press runs gonna be a little difficult to me because I ain't really like a person that like to talk. So
we know.
Also on No Turning Back, you talk about how you gave your heart to the streets and got nothing in return. Where would you say your heart is now?
My heart right now is with my family, my son. I love my son a whole lot. Like, and that's why I want to. I wouldn't say shift my focus, but like be more attentive in that area.
How old is your little man?
He 5.
Oh, okay. How fatherhood has changed you? Cause you young, Polo. So you was a young pops.
Yeah. It changed me for the better for sure. It be teaching me patience. I'm a very impatient person, but dealing with my son helped me learn to be more patient and just see the beauty in life for real.
I want to stay on the Turning Back record because you talk about your brother and you said, I miss my broski through it all. You was there for me. How is his absence affecting you on a day-to-day basis? And just what he's going through, because he was charged with murder, right? Yeah.
I wasn't even talking about my blood brother. I was talking about my homie B Money, who passed away in 2021.
Oh wow. Okay.
And but definitely my little brother, you know, we was tight, we was close. So I speak to him. I be missing him a lot though. That was my dog. I mean, that is my dog.
Do you feel like that? I don't want to say that's your fault, but like the rapper lifestyle led to him maybe getting jammed up like that?
I definitely want to say that. No, you can't really call it, to be honest, to be totally honest.
And letter for my pops, you're talking about how you don't want to let your son down. Like, that is one of your biggest fears. But I feel like, you know, you did have your kid once you got money, you up. So I don't, like, what is the fear of that? You can take care of yourself, you can take care of your family.
I just know how important it was to me, like for my father to be there for me, and like definitely just being there for my son a important thing for me, because I know like how much it counts to put that time in. My pops was there for me for everything, every little point in my life, making sure we did our homework. Something as simple as hanging your jacket up, playing catch with you in the backyard. Like, that's things a kid gonna remember more than me being able to pay for anything for my son.
Yeah.
So it's important for you to give your dad his flowers while he's
For
still
sure.
here.
And that's him on the record too?
Yeah.
That's him?
Yeah.
That's cool.
What else did you learn from your pops? Like, I really want to know, like, how did having a father figure keep you from really, succumbing to the streets of Chicago?
My pops, he a really wise person, He always gonna give you the pros or cons to any situation. Somebody that's real easy to talk to. I feel like he kept me away from or out of trouble a lot of times, or just being that voice of reason,
When you having conversations with your son or interactions with your son, what do you do that you like, damn, that was my pops. My pops did this for me. Like,
it's a lot of things I do. I feel like it's similar to my pops. We almost like the same person. I feel like I see that in damn near everything I do.
What's your relationship now with your mother, Station Mack? Because she was your manager. She not no more, though, right?
No, she not my manager no more. That's my mama. I always love my mama. We just probably ain't in the best space right now on communicating terms, but that's my OG. I'm always love.
Damn, how did you fire your moms? Like, how did that conversation go? That had to be a tough one.
It was just a mutual thing, It wasn't really nothing
This
to
ain't
it.
new. Michael and Joe, Janet and Joe.
Still got to be a conversation because that's moms. Like,
Yes.
She go hard for you, though.
She do.
Like, hard.
For sure.
Do y'all still communicate now? Or?
Not often, but it's still communication there. It's just not like how it used to be. But I feel like that's just a rough patch in our relationship that'll get back to where it was.
When you see family public issues spill over to social media, like, everybody saw the situation between your mom and your sister, do you intervene or do you let them work that out?
For sure, I'm always intervene. It's like, I don't want to see no shit like that, So I'm always try to get in between it before it go too far.
That got to
What
be
you
a
mean
rough
go
one.
too far? They was fighting and shooting at each other. This is Chicago. Chicago. I might have to start adding Chicago with Florida. He said before it go too far. It was too far. They was fighting and shooting, Polo. Like, see, that's normal to Chicago people.
Oh no,
That is
man.
definitely normal to Chicago people.
That was crazy.
Is it even something that can be worked out, you think?
Yeah, for sure. We family. I mean, I feel like 'cause who I am, it's just being broadcasted more, and like everybody gonna talk about it. But everybody family go through shit like that. Shit I'm accustomed to. I'm like,
Minus
like,
the shooting.
No, that's normal to him.
Go. and how do you intervene? Because you can't pick a side. It's like you almost got to just try to put them both in the room and be like, let's have this conversation.
Yeah, that's definitely the angle to take, 'cause my sister a pretty headstrong person. She her mother child, So you definitely got to be there.
Have you tried that yet? Have you tried to have them work it out on the phone first, of course, because you don't want them in the room yet, but to try to get their feelings out and squash it? Because they mom and daughter.
It's something that I want to get around to, but I'm definitely letting it breathe a little bit more right now.
I mean, I just like the energy that y'all brought. I always like the Cap a lot. I liked watching y'all as a family unit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I just thought that was dope. Mom helped managing the rapper son. I just thought that was dope.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned you grew antisocial, and you said it's y'all's fault. Who is y'all?
Like, just I ran through a lot of different friends or just like people I was associated with, and it's like I always go through a phase of having to cut off a lot of different people. A lot of people came and went in my life, so I feel like that keep me even more standoffish than I was before.
To be fair, you also are evolving as an artist, and then
As a man.
in personal life, and then like public persona too.
Mm-hmm.
So some people are just there to get you to your next phase.
Yeah, that's the way to look at it.
But I want to talk about your creative process within this project. Can you describe, because you said this is the longest, that it took for you to put this together. What was it like? Did you create on beat? Was it more like poems? Because it is hood poet. What was that?
I was definitely, I was locked in with a producer. I was locked in with Southside from 808 Mafia.
Fire.
And we had locked in for like 2 months, and we made like a large bulk of the album in them 2 months. Like probably like, let's say 8 or 9 of the 18 songs that's on there. So we was just building that chemistry and really went from there.
Who else was on the project besides 808?
He got a team of producers.
Oh, fire.
So Smack is one of his producers that I work real closely with. And ATL Jacob on there. I got Arce from Chicago. He on there. Who I'm missing. I don't want to make nobody mad. I got a lot of producers on there, though.
Check the credits. Check the credits.
Who did We A Shoot?
That was Southside.
I'm sure that's not how you pronounce it. I'm sure that's
We A Shoot.
I'm sure that's not it.
But that is how it's spelled.
Yeah,
We A Shoot.
I'm sure. I don't know what
Why did y'all
accent
name
that
it
was.
that?
Because they a shoot.
It's not mad Jamaican.
I don't know what accent that was. We a shooter. Like I don't know what that was.
I put like that's how I talk. I ain't want to put Will. Like I think that would have sounded weird, or it would have been a weird title.
That's in the hook. We got the guns. We'll shoot. No, I ain't worried about what he'll do.
Are you ever nervous about that? Seeing what's going on with Young Thug, put stuff like that in rap. Like, damn, I wonder if they could ever use this against me at any time.
I'm not worried because I'm not doing nothing.
Okay.
I'm not worried about that.
Well, you did get arrested back in April, Polo. There was a loaded firearm in a hotel room. I don't know if it was yours, but.
All right.
Got you. Okay.
Antisocial.
You gonna tell? Yeah, see, you got it. But here's the thing: coming from the street, you are a legitimate businessman now.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's not yours, I feel like it's okay to say it's not mine.
Yeah.
You may not have to say whose it is, but it ain't mine.
Polo G, your counselor would say, don't say anything until the court date.
Did you see the discussion that Vlad TV was having? Where he was talking about he got concerns about you because he feels like you might have one foot in the street still. What are your thoughts about people who have those concerns?
That about me?
Yeah.
Like I said, I think they shouldn't have that concern at all because I'm not doing. I go home after I come from the studio, and I don't really ain't nothing too much going on in my life. I'm just a rapper.
Mm-hmm. I feel like brothers who survived the streets of Chicago, they're literally like actual soldiers, just because of everything that they've experienced, the trauma, the PTSD and stuff. So is it hard finding happiness now? Because you live a great life, but is it hard actually being happy because of all the traumas of your past and things you might still be dealing with now?
I think because I feel like I cope with that stuff pretty well because like like how we were saying earlier, it is something that become regular. Like I don't really be too throwed off by like death or nothing no more. Like so I be really able to accept a lot of that stuff now. But I do have those moments of survivor's remorse or just like my trauma's catching up to me sometimes, but I feel like all in all, I cope with it well. I mean, I got a vice that I didn't really touch on is music, though. Right. Like, I'm always have that in my pocket to be able to deal with my problem.
Are you accepting of it or just numb to it? That's the difference, right? Like learning to accept something and just being numb to it.
Like a little bit of both.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit of both.
You said music is one of your vices.
Mm-hmm.
What are some of the things you listen to cope, like artists? Or even decade?
I like all type of music. I'm always on YouTube. I like R&B music or just like I wouldn't even consider it R&B because like what category like sexy drill fall under? That's like rap and
That's sexy
R&B.
drill.
What the hell is sexy drill?
It's R&B but drill.
Cause I like that Kehlani song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That record's great.
What,
I like
killing the pussy?
No, No, Kalani.
The
we
name
just
of the song
played
is
it.
Kalani.
I'm saying, but they call it sexy drill. Why? Because you killing pussy?
No.
Not killing her literally, but like,
music on drill
beating it up.
beats.
No.
R&B music on drill beats.
Oh.
Gotta talk to Unc sometimes.
That's sexy. That's sexy to women.
It's called Sexy Drill. We didn't name it. Men named it.
So Nyla, if you was with a man
Oh boy.
and y'all was setting the mood,
No, do not put that on. What are we even doing right now?
Polo, you out here setting the mood to sexy drill?
No. I really don't really like that term like that, but I just rock with it.
You like the
already.
sound.
Yeah.
I like the sound.
Now Vlad also, you FaceTimed him. You said you wanted to meet up with him face to face. Like, where did all that start from? Like, what is the issue? Because you called him the feds. Like,
Vlad, man, it was really a situation where I came across him and Ack having a sit down, and my name came up. And Vlad had an issue with me making a tweet, responding to a tweet that somebody made about him being the police.
mm-hmm.
This before I ever seen the interview about him being the police, and I said some shit along the lines like, I agree, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then we end up seeing each other in the bank. He chopped it up with me. I really left it alone. I ain't never say nothing about him since. But like the way he was talking in the interview with Ack is like, it was almost like he was, I don't know, like he still felt the way.
Mm-hmm.
And he's saying that I didn't never respond to him for an interview. And it's like he just fake got to going in. And I didn't really understand that from a person who had an issue with me speaking on him publicly.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really where my issue came from. And I'm trying to talk to him like a man. Like it ain't really no more to it. But then he trying to remind me he 50. You should have known that before you speaking on me though.
And y'all had an actual meeting?
No, he don't.
Y'all ran into
They
each other
ran
in the
into
bank.
each other at the bank.
Yeah. I ran into him at the bank.
So you pulled up on him, or did he say, "Hey, I'm Vlad," or did you know it was him as soon as you see him?
Nobody knows.
I was in the line at the bank. This like during COVID time. He got his mask on, but I like, you know, I looked back at him and I smiled, you know, and that's when he was willing to engage in conversation, I guess, you know. And it wasn't really nothing. We just chopped it up about like why he felt the way, you know.
You also said in the song, you can't relapse off these drugs, R.I.P. to Juice. You really took your last perk with Juice? Because you said that in the you said I popped my last one with you.
Yeah. I haven't did that since.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
How long ago was that?
Like 5 years ago.
Oh, okay. You remember that last experience outside of just the drugs?
Yeah, I remember my last time just kicking it with Juice. Period. He used to stay 15 minutes away from me, so I used to pull up on him a lot of times. He'll hit me like, "Yo, bro, just pull up on me today." We didn't record music a lot of those times. We was just kicking it together. So that was one of those days.
What did Juice mean to the city?
A lot. Juice, man, he he a rock star. Like he different. He really separated himself from the rest of the pack. Feel like he definitely one of a kind. A lot of people appreciate him, and it's like a good, like a dope thing. Like people coming from a lot of different upbringings that is able to like support or rock with Juice, cause like some of his music you would hear it and you wouldn't naturally think people in the hood would play this, but like everybody rock with Juice, bro.
Mm-hmm. Now you also got the you got a September 18th reference on the album. Is that related to your late friend who passed away in Chicago?
No, yeah, that's one of my other homies though. My homie, his name was T Gucci. He passed away. I was 15. He was 16.
Yeah, got killed, right?
Yeah, he got killed.
Yeah. Damn, how much death have you experienced? You even know what grief feels like?
I know what grief feel like. I dealt with death closely a lot since I was like a little kid. Like my first encounter with death for real, or like a murder. My uncle died in a shootout. I was like 9 years old. That was like my first real experience dealing with that, and ever since then, that's like what I've been going through. So
you don't feel pain anymore. It's just feels natural now.
I mean, I definitely feel pain still. I'm a human, but I just don't really read too much into it because I know You know, people living certain lives. This is what come with it.
So what adjustments do you, not even what adjustments, what do you feel your duty is to your community? Is it to make records like We A Shoot, or is it to say, you know what, I got to say something to help the next generation be better?
I definitely, in my music, I definitely dabble between the two, but like, if you know Polo G as an artist, like most of the time I'm speaking on the problems or like telling you how this messed up or that I could connect with you on a level where I've been through something too. I feel like my main priority though, in my community specifically, is just getting a hold of the kids. You know, like everybody who been in the streets or had their own path and they adults, like it's hard to patch them relationships up. Like you know, people pushing peace now and trying to patch them, but like everybody ain't gonna have that same mindset. It's the best thing to do is go get a hold of the youth before they get too deep into some type of issue.
Because once bodies start dropping, it's hard to just go back and be like, yeah, okay, we good now. Yeah, I get it. I totally get it.
Well, let's get into a joint off the album. Let's play Hood Poet.
That's the one you want to play? What's the single?
We A Shoot.
He's talking about prolific stuff and then like, what you want to hear?
Lord have mercy. Oh, Lord.
All right,
Polo
well,
G.
let's get it on. We A Shoot. Polo G.
Say it with the accent.
I said We A Shoot.
With the accent, Char.
We A Shoot.
How you make it Jamaican? They just make it Jamaican. We A Shoot. It's the Breakfast Club. We appreciate you for joining us, brother.
I appreciate y'all having me.
It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Wake that ass up.
In the morning.
The Breakfast Club.